Good morning, everybody. It's November 13th, 10:04. I got my stuff kind of put away right now, getting ready to check out of the hotel here. I've got I got a little less than 1 hour, and I got to check out. But anyhow, housekeeping just came by to see if I was vacant out of the room, and I figured I better get up now, so I'm gonna do a quick video. What I want to do is I'm going to include in the description box. Cynthia sent me a thing about how sound has effects on people. The way the sound looks when you play certain music, the things that come out of it, very pleasant. To where when you put on other sounds that are of wickedness, evil sounding things, how it looks very distorted, and where if you put in pleasant sounds, it looks very nice, very beautiful. And I had a dream about that this morning. I was woken up before I seen that from her. I had a dream where I seen people were willingly sitting back listening to some of this stuff that's causing the effects of the things that we're in today. I remember 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, my mom would be complaining about the music that some of these people were listening to. It wasn't so much the music; you couldn't even hear their music before you would hear the vibration, in your windows at home. They'd boop, 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 boop. You could hear the vibration of it, but yet you couldn't hear any music. You couldn't hear anything, just the vibration in your windows and stuff. And then things getting increasingly more violent, evil, wickedness. And then not only that, you guys, all right, now some of us, we knew we were woken up, we're chosen by the Lord to know that these are the last days that we're in. Now we've noticed how, like in New York, you notice how they put those metal things, doors on the bridges? They just put them there. All of a sudden, just popped them up, put them in place. And then a lot of the subways, they put these metal things that they close off to where people would walk in and out of the subways. Now they got these metal things where they can lock them where you can't get out of them. And just like the tunnels, they've made doors where they can seal and lock those in as well. And today we know the churches are telling people what they just want to hear. Tell them what they want to hear. And most people say, oh, okay, oh, that's so, like they believe everything they're told. And that's what's happening today. When they built those things for the bridges, they said, oh, well, that's just for water, in case it, keep water from going through it. And people are like, oh, okay. And they leave it at that. Well, I mean, we've had these bridges and tunnels there for 40, 50 years now, okay? They've never had this problem, but we've been hearing rumors of things getting ready to happen, like the Great Flood over through New York and all that. And now all of a sudden they're putting those things up, almost like they're trapping you, where there won't be no escape. When those doors are sealed shut, that's going to be it. You won't be able to take a subway and get out of that tunnel. You won't be able to drive through that tunnel. You know what I mean? It's going to be like that. Not only that, the speakers that they've been putting up with sounds everywhere. They said they can't explain it. When you look at it, it looks like 101 on the front of it. And I've always said I've seen things in my past where 101 had something to do with wickedness, evil. And then I've seen it again recently on a paycheck. Both of them actually were paychecks. One time when I was deep sea fishing, I didn't get paid. My last check was $101. After they paid back the boat for a lot of money for what happened was they lost a lot of gear And they said that my share of it was like $1,400 that I owed for gear that they ended up cutting and losing, but didn't make sense. It sounded like we were being ripped off and cheated a lot, for anyhow. Happened to me again recently. Because I got to pay for fuel when I'm driving this truck out here. Took in, by the time they deducted all the fuel and everything one week, it came out to where I made $101. I'm thinking, this is crazy, that, I'm just a driver delivering this stuff. I'm not even in business for this. But this is what it is. But anyhow, in New York, they got those things up there, they're speakers, and it's got 101. I think it's got to do with evil and wickedness, okay? I also think it's got something to do with, like, these microwave towers we got everywhere here. Well, they're putting them up anywhere and everywhere very sloppily, and they're speakers. That's what they are, they're speakers. I call them microwaves because they have something to do with the sound that's being put out right now. Not sleeping good, but yet we know what it is. And a lot of people are just going by like it's nothing, going about their daily days, not realizing anything. And now in New York, they don't have all these building tops. They don't have all these places that they can place like these microwave towers we see everywhere. New York doesn't have that because they're all big buildings everywhere. So where are they going to put them? They're going to put them out on the street corners. Everybody there's walking around, okay? So they're going to be at a certain height, all on the street corners everywhere, and that's where they put them. And people are like, what are they? What are they for? And they're saying, well, those are warning. They're telling you what you want to hear, but they're not telling you the truth. When the rapture happens, they're going to turn off all communications and everything probably for 2 weeks until you're starving to hear something. And then when people get back on, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Okay, and the sad truth is people are being led to the slaughter. That's what this amounts to. And I'm not telling you guys this, that we need to have a spirit of fear, because we don't. We're following Christ. Okay, this is a message that, maybe it's going to be left behind for those that weren't paying attention. And maybe we won't be here, But we know, we see what's happening and why it's all happening, And it makes perfect sense. Like these microwave towers we see in all the states, everywhere that you go. They're putting them up on stands at different heights. They're making them look like trees. They're making them look like pine trees. And they're camouflaging them everywhere. They're putting them on water towers. They're putting them on buildings and painting them. I've seen them putting them on billboard signs. Anywhere they can put them, even really quite sloppily. And over the last few years, like they're rushing doing it. And then when I see them in New York, what they're putting there, it looks totally different what they're doing in New York. But see, they don't have the same ability as in New York as they do here, okay? Here, they've got different places where they can put them up. You see, in New York, they don't have that. New York don't have short buildings where they can put them on top of that. They don't have, everything's way too tall. All the buildings are way too tall. And they can't just throw in a place like we see the cell phone towers here. They can't throw something up like that there. So they have to put it in a different way, which is putting it in a, like a street light, almost on every corner. They're everywhere. And people are like, what are these? Well, they don't look like the microwave towers that we have everywhere else. But they're the same thing. And there's a sound effect coming out of it, which causes things. Okay, causes disturbance in your mental frequency. Okay. Now, Cynthia sent me a video on sound effects. Okay, and I want you guys to look at it. And also there's like two jars with rice in it that was made. One jar, they were speaking ugly, nasty, filthy things into that jar all the time, verbally speaking into it. Then in another jar, they were like reading Psalms, Bible things, saying love, peace, joy into it. And then they're 13 days old. One of it looks black, where they're speaking evil and wickedness into it. And the other one looks white, pure white, like nothing happened to it. It sat perfectly. Okay, this is where sound is literally. That's why the Lord says when you read it, have love, joy, peace. And what is evil? It's just the opposite of that. Just like these sounds effects that are taking place right now. It's just the opposite of that. And we're not able to reach people, our loved ones out there right now, because a lot of them, they don't believe. And God says without faith, you can't please him without faith. So people, when you're following what's in this world, the Lord came here and he said the devil is the ruler of this world. And he came here to overcome what was in the world. And he said that we should pick up our cross and follow him, okay? And if you don't follow him, he said you're not worthy of him. If you don't love him first, you're not worthy of him. And I want you guys to see the description. Look in the description box. I'm going to include that video. Please take a few minutes to watch it. And you can kind of see the things that are being set up out here. I don't think there's much time left. All these things have been put into place, and they've done everything as quick as they can do it. It's the wickedness. Avoid all arguing. It's like over the weekend while I was here relaxing, that girl from the office would call and say, well, when are you going back in? I said, well, I called out till Monday. She's going, well, what time will you be ready to go Monday? I said, by 6 a.m., call me when you got something. Well, anyhow, I called her on Monday and I told her, I said, when I check into a hotel room, I'm going to relax. That's the whole purpose of it, to relax, stretch my legs out. And I said, Monday through Friday, if you got a load for me, I'm there getting them out. I said, if I drop off something on a Friday and you got something for me to pick up right away, I said, and it has to be someplace through the weekend, I'll get it there. And I said, but if not, I said, come Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to get a room and I'm going to relax. I said, because I want to stretch out and get comfortable. She goes, well, I'll be sure to tell Jim that. Almost like as if a threatening, to like going to try to get me fired or something, because I'm not there 7 days a week, and it just doesn't make sense, but that's the thing that I'm trying to tell you is how we talk to people, what they say back to you, words. I've heard people, saying like all the women today, they're worthless. They're all sleep around. They've been with 90 million people already. And then the same thing, I'd hear women saying the same thing about men. All the good men are gone. They've already, la, la, la. Listen, these are words that are literally destroying anything that's good, anything and everything. This place has been destroyed by wickedness and filth. I noticed when I was a child growing up here, when I was little, spin the bottle, truth or dare, the things people were doing, it was filthiness. It wasn't of the Lord. It wasn't what was good and wholesome and pure. I noticed when I was a child, we were heading way off course. And I've also looked at old movies that I've seen on television back from the 1930s, where there was deception, devil hand signs, horns, and 666 signs. I've seen it all. It was way before we were born here. These things were in place. They were happening slowly but surely. And now it's budded. It's come to full blossom, okay? And the Lord, remember, we all have fallen short, okay? And this is the time where it says to redeem the time that you have, strengthen what remains, and we have to be doing things in good ways, be trying to stay positive, thinking good. I believe, like right now, even that girl's going to try to get me fired from this job. Scoffers and mockers have been trying to do it. I've seen it. They've called up and I've had them at the office even say, "What's up with these people? Why are they doing this?" This is why they're doing it, because these are the days that we're living in. It's all evil and wicked, and these are spirits. And what have I been doing for the past few years? I've been trying to wake people up to it, to be aware that this is spiritual wickedness. Just like the Bible says, we don't wrestle with flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. And a lot of these people are doing just what they're doing because of the demonic spirits that are in them. Many people don't even believe it, even knowing that they have the mentality or the ugliness feelings that they do what they do because they're driven by a force that they don't even know. But if you don't believe that this is happening, how do you overcome it? How do you overcome this wickedness? A lot of them won't do it. They won't even stand up. Some of us have been trying to reach out to our loved ones in these last days, last years, trying to tell them what's going on, and they won't hear it. And they've even told me, I don't even want to hear nothing about Christ, I've had people say, if you speak less about Christ, we'll turn your life around, Mark. We'll make you wealthy. And, these are the days of evil, you guys. So let's stand strong, okay? Please check out the description box, and you're going to see this. And I think that's what all these microwave towers are. Also, just like in New York, those others, they got 101 on the front of them. They're all designed the same. But you see, they don't have the microwave towers like we have. That's another form of it. And they put out low-frequency sounds that are very hard to hear. But nonetheless, they do the damage. That's what's happening right now. People don't even know it. The anger that's going on, that people are feeling. Look at the murders going on in Chicago. I think that was probably one areas that they were probably using in the beginning. If you look around, there's probably something there set up in place that was there long before. But anyhow, you guys check out the description box and watch that video. You'll be surprised at how the things change, the appearance of them, how they look, just from sound. And I think that's what's happening right now around us. But I also believe we're very close to leaving right now. And the Lord's getting ready to pull us out of here. I can feel it. I can sense it. But with that being said, God bless you guys. I love each and every one of you. Again, check out that video in the description box. God bless you.